So my final question I did want to ask is the kind of thing that, and I know you don't know a lot about Sell, we're going to talk about that off the record after this, but the kind of concept of Sell, do you think that's something that would work in the UK, bringing together self-employed lawyers and boutiques so they can learn together and also refer work to each other?
I do. So there's a firm over here. Well, they're actually a US firm, but they slightly different point, but there are definitely parallels. But they had a massive drive a few years ago on sort of diversity and inclusion, and they always used to say, how can you expect to have the same person in the building as a lawyer and shoehorn them into every single client relationship? And you sort of, clients want, in a lot of cases, they want to be able to feel comfortable that you are listening to them, you actually understand, and you can sort of empathize with what they're going through, to be perfectly honest. And to bring it back to the Self-Employed Lawyers League, the difficulty a lot of self-employed lawyers will have, whether that is in Australia or the UK, is that we will market ourselves, or I can't speak to how others want to market themselves, but I will market myself in a way to be like, I'm a startup, I'm a scaling business. You're a startup, you're a scaling business. Now, if for example, your trademark gets challenged and you're looking at a really costly dispute, and you go to behemoth law firm turning over $750 million GBP a year, they don't understand. They don't understand probably your cost base. They won't understand that you might have intentions of seeking investment or exiting. It's just the actual experiences, the interests, and the targets for both those entities, client and behemoth law firm, are just so far apart, complete chalk and cheese. And what's quite nice is a lot of the clients I work with, we will have similar strains, difficulties, experiences. The problem comes, I'm obviously an IP lawyer by trade, is if a client, and this happens, they have other issues which are not related to IP, I obviously can't advise on from a technical standpoint, also not insured to in any event. So at that point, it becomes really important to have those relationships. And I can't just pull up Microsoft Teams and go, oh, who's the construction lawyer on the fourth floor, or whatever it might be. So to have that, I think would be really invaluable, because you essentially want, if you're going to refer your client to another lawyer, you want them to kind of, their experiences with that other lawyer to align, and there be sort of, I guess, symmetry between them, where they're going, oh, they also understand sort of how I'm operating, rather than, because we only operate on a fixed price model. But if I then send a client to a big international law firm, they're going to, wow, the hourly rates have doubled. There's no certainty on pricing, and the experience is probably going to be really terrible and shocking for them comparably. So I think to have that symmetry, not be, I guess, in a silo, tunnel vision with what you're doing, and then suddenly a client goes, what about this? And you're sort of going, oh, it's very, very hard to find someone who does what I do in my exact field, because even previous law firms I've worked at, they don't align with, I guess, my USP, what I want to deliver clients, like another self-employed lawyer would. So there is, I would say, definitely a market for it. And I think infamously, a lot of lawyers will say that the best source of work is referrals. I mean, it's the time from when you get the prospect or generate the lead to actually converting tends to be so much shorter via a referral from another lawyer, compared to, say, if I'm trawling LinkedIn or other types of cold outreach. So yeah, I mean, from my own experience, it is something that I would theoretically use. Yes.